Hey, Saher Galt here, and I'm going to share a quick mixing tip on how to use reverb creatively. We're going to take this dry, flat snare sound and give it some life. So first thing, we're going to make 2 reverb tracks. And I'm going to be using Softube's Saher 1 because I love how it sounds, but any reverb that has a pre-delay control will do. So it's easier to follow what we're doing. I'm going to call this left reverb. And maybe predictably, this one will be right reverb. Now, for the crucial move, I'm going to pan the reverbs themselves, hard left and hard right. Might be a little early to be making this disclaimer, but we don't have to hard pan. It's just going to help us hear the effect most dramatically. Now, first, we're going to route the snare to the left reverb and work on that a bit. So we're setting it up as a send. We still have our dry signal, but we also get some wet. We still hear the dry sound in the center, but now on the side, we get a response from the reverb. And to keep the reverb from washing out the punchiness of the snare, we're going to give it some pre-delay. If I jack it up, you can see what it does. First, we hear the sound dry, then the reverb comes, keeps the snare up front, and we get the interesting tail. We're also going to darken this side of the reverb quite a bit. Great. Of course, there's more to attend to in terms of settings, but for our purposes, this will be fine. Now we're going to add in the right reverb. Now that right reverb doesn't have pre-delay yet. See how the snare gets blurred in the haze? Pop in the pre-delay, we get our attack back. But critically, we've used a different amount of pre-delay from the left reverb. So now we get this rolling effect. We can further emphasize the movement by making one reverb brighter and the other darker. One longer and the other shorter. Both of these reverbs working together give us something that evolves, overlapping in time, separated spatially. It's complex. Perfect for creating atmosphere. Okay, now I'm going to balance the level of the reverb against the dry signal and set up a more conservative pan scenario. With tighter panning like this, you still get that rolling effect, and you get a little space back in your stereo field. In a busy or dense mix, this is the way to go. And in setting up 2 reverbs to work together, we get a gorgeous, evocative effect that one reverb can't possibly achieve. All it takes is a little bit of panning, pre-delay, and shaping in the high frequencies. To remind you of how far we've come, that feels lifeless. That, we started to sculpt something. And that's important. Mixing is definitely, in part, a technical discipline. We want a competent mix. But that's just the beginning. Mixing is about more than just fidelity. It's about shaping atmosphere, crafting a world with an adventurous spirit, experimentation, the desire to push the medium forward to a place it hasn't been. Well, that's when technical choices become artistic ones. All right, that's all for now. Any questions, ask me in the comments. I'm Saher Galt. I'll see you next time.